McDonald's is a place to rock. It is a restaurant where they buy food to eat. It is a good place to listen to the music. People flock here to get down to the rock music. Rock and roll McDonald's.
Fucking piece of shit.
Get fat. They serve Big Macs. They serve quarter pounders. They will put pounds on you. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and McDonald's. McDonald's hamburgers are the worst. They are worse than Burger King. A Big Mac has 26 grams of fat. A quarter pounder has 28 grams of fat. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock over London. Rock on Chicago. Wheaties represent champions.
And we're live from the mountaintop in the swamp, from UFOs to camel toes, from big chuckles to moose knuckles. You got it locked on the Derek Farmer Network. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. Here it is a Friday night, one day after Thanksgiving here in Southwest Michigan, where we await a blizzard of sorts. It has been snowing. I've had my challenges already. Thank goodness I got those new tires. I will say that those have certainly been a lifesaver in this early snowmageddon that we are suffering through. High winds, big flakes, besides me. Big snowflakes, besides me. How am I sounding tonight? Can I be heard? Am I being heard? Check. Because I feel like Elon Musk wants to ram it into me tonight without any lube whatsoever. I know there's some snow built up on his stupid little satellite. But for $120 a month, I think you should build a heater into that sumbitch. You know, maybe put a solar panel on there with a little heater, a blower or something to keep the snow and ice from accumulating on that satellite. My one listener happens to be Mr. Steve. I love you, Mr. Steve. How you doing, man? I hope you had a good I'm good. I'm glad it's loud and clear. On my end, it appears to be breaking up. I selfishly wanted that one listener to be you, Mr. Steve. So happy. A little embarrassing. But I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving because, as we know, this is being recorded in perpetuity. If anybody pays attention to the community post page, highly doubt you do, but I do a lot of stuff on there. I put up a lot of information. I did include a special post-Thanksgiving surprise on there. I put up the full interview with my own mom about her 1966 UFO experience from the nursing home that I recorded last year. It's a pretty fun interview. You get to see me and my mom interact for 45 minutes. I feel like I talked over her a little bit. Quite frankly, she doesn't voice up, like she used to. Kind of miss that a little bit. She was a real bear. Real big bear. Real bear. She always would cut you off and make her point. But the older she's gotten, and as the oxygen gets turned up, I do notice that she allows me to make my points, and she let me run on with a series of questions about her experience in 1966, an experience that was part of the overall sightings that brought Project Blue Book and J. Allen Hynek to Southwest Michigan for the Hillsdale sightings at Hillsdale's all-girls school. The only place, as a matter of fact, I've ever been the best man at anyone's wedding, as some good friends are from the Hillsdale area, and that's where they had their wedding. I didn't know about the UFO story about Hillsdale when I was there, but I think apparently the courtyard that we held the wedding in might be right where the UFO landed, coincidentally enough, all those years ago. And we're talking about 60 years ago. And so that's pretty interesting. I won't go into it now. It's up on the community post page just for subscribers, really. It's not anything I put out as a video or a pre-record or anything. I'm a little nervous with HIPAA laws. It is at the nursing home, although I have my mom's permission. In the background there could possibly be some of these slower crowds shuffling to the popcorn machine. So yeah, I spent an exciting Thanksgiving at the Marathon Station. That was pretty fun, actually. Better than sitting home alone, in my opinion. Tomorrow's going to prove to be probably even more fun, as we're going to, I think, have quite a weather event. This area in particular is calling for a little bit higher amounts than I see anywhere around me, including Kalamazoo. The east side might get some, but it may be mixed with rain. But here in southern Cass County, northern Indiana, they are calling for like 8 to 15 inches. It's hard to tell. So I guess we'll see what happens. But that whole winter storm warning starts at either 4 or 7 a.m. I can't remember. This morning, Saturday. You have a bad time for my windshield wiper arm to break on the driver's side last night from the gas station. I didn't give it enough time. It was frozen to the windshield. and I turned it on as soon as I started my car, and it did something to the arm. I mean, something worse than just removing the windshield wiper, which it did also. So it's like just kind of up, you know. It goes up. It's why it clears it, but it just doesn't go back down again, unless I physically put it down. Now the other side is going crazy. It's slapping all over the place, you know, so that's good. You know, pushing all the shit from the passenger side into, you know, my view on the driver's side really does improve my my visceral skills on the road. So looking to get that fixed ASAP. Of course, I won't be probably delivering in this crap until I get that done. What am I talking about today? What are we talking about today? Well, Mr. Steve, I hope you had I still just one listener. I'm surprised. Usually people will filter in, but you know, maybe people are sick of my bullshit. It's possible. Maybe they're just on that turkey drug and passed out. Or maybe it's not being really representative of how many people are in here. I've had that happen too. Although I wouldn't say it's blowing up. Not that I gave it 5 minutes. Usually I just go live. So I figure with that 5 minute lead in, you know, we'd have a few thousand people here. I mean, I'm not sure what I expected. But I'm glad to be here. It's all an exercise in creativity for me. I have no intention of monetizing my channel for memberships. Only because that takes a lot of subscribers and a lot of work and a lot of dedication. But what I am looking forward to is oh hey Thad here, he might want to say hi in a second. What I am looking forward to is getting to 500 subscribers. You know, people that organically sort of get here. Well, we're doing it slowly. I had 2 today. That's a lot for me. And at 500, I will be able to accept super chats and super stickers if I keep my act clean enough for the YouTube standards. I guess I'll have to review, but I don't know. I'm set at 18 and over, so it's not as if I'm trying to, you know. I mean, I guess some of the stuff I say on here can be rather adult, and I do have the boom boom stick sometimes. And I say murder instead of unalive, but I'm not going to change that. If that makes it so I can't have super stickers or super chats, oh well. Then I'll go without them because I will be damned. I will be damned if I give up my right to what really is a core principle for me on broadcasting. 2 listeners in the room. Number two, love it. So yeah, that's a core principle for me, being able to say the words that I want to without being overtly offensive. Now, listen, I understand from a corporation standpoint, they don't want someone on here espousing hate, talking about, you know, basically reading. Mr. Steve, you probably wouldn't be familiar with this, but you may be. Maybe you brushed up against it in the 80s. Something called the Anarchist Cookbook. Does anybody remember the Anarchist Cookbook? Now, this was sold down at my local, it was called Michigan News Agency, and the lady that owned it just passed away last year. She ran it for over 70 years, I think. Something, I don't know. She was like 130. But it was the last independent news agency in town. Big neon sign, not LED, folks, neon. You could see the meter rolling when she turned this sign on, enormous sign. Hey, Junior Johnson, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm assuming that you are a bit chilly. Maybe not chilly. You're probably inside. No reason to be chilly. You know, being outside or inside rather. Anyways, so they used to sell, you know, all the crazy magazines. I mean, she was kind of a rebel, really, and she had all the dirty magazines, of course, but she had High Times and. You know, when I went to Alaska, you know, it's where you would go to, it was pre-internet. You would go down there and order a newspaper from where you wanted a newspaper from, and she would source it for you. And it took about a week to get the Anchorage newspaper delivered to Kalamazoo. But I wanted to get an idea of the cost of things. You know, back in those days, a classified Sunday section was everything. Early 90s, it still meant something, you know. It had a gravitas. My least favorite word. What a pretentious asshole. Junior, I hope you're doing well. You know, the last time we spoke, you were back from that terrible place down south. And no offense, Mr. Steve. He was in Kentucky though. Um, anyways, Junior saying, "Howdy, farmer," and Mr. Steve saying, "Received extensive training regarding the ideology of those subscribing to the cookbook and such, extremist survivalists, etc." Really? Well, she sold these, and as a kid, and I mean like a 13, 14-year-old, I listened to heavy metal. I was kind of rebellious, But this son of a gun cost like 30, 40, 50 bucks, and we're talking back in the 80s. There was no way I was buying that thing. It was too doggone expensive. But I did see it there every time, and I would sort of leaf through it as if it were secret information. Now, I never had any extremist views, honestly, Mr. Steve, about like any sort of action. No, Kentucky is a beautiful state, Junior. Absolutely right. In fact, the entire Ohio Valley and down south and all that is it's intensely beautiful. And nonetheless, Mr. Steve, at that age, if you have a bit of a rebellious streak, you may want to know how to make, I don't want to say it or YouTube. There's several things you can make, but it was pretty, correct me if I'm wrong, and I haven't looked at one since being a teenager, but the directions were pretty specific, I think, in that book in those days about how to make things that could be considered incendiary devices. It was pretty nutty, buddy. I think it even had it had so many different things in it. Probably worth and its first print probably worth a decent deal of money used on like an eBay or something, I would think, because it was like a whole kind of hardback sort of specialty edition book thing. But you know what I wanted more than that, Mr. Steve? And I know you probably didn't study these because you were damn busy. And that was Time Life's series of anomalous shit. I don't know what they called it, but they had a whole series, Time Life did, of these hardback books. That was real big at the time, still in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. The printing presses were still going wild, And really, Mr. Steve? Wow. You are so punk rock. But you have it just for studying reasons. But, as far, if I can remember correctly, there were some aesthetics to the book in terms of how it was laid out, the illustrations, and the, I guess you would say the veracity of the recipes there involved. And not that all of them were recipes, but whatever, information it was putting out. Just as informative, though, and really, if you wanted skills in life, was that the Boy Scout series. Now, I read a lot of those. What was it called? I showed you how to clean water, how to run water down a hill through gravel and so forth to clean it up a little bit. All kind of different things. I know they had a magazine, but this was a series. I want to say Foxfire. So, but I find that interesting, and that you have a copy somewhere is even more interesting. I mean, that you even knew what that was, honestly, is pretty crazy. But I guess in your line of work, and at the time that was probably, and I don't know when that was written, really, Junior hanging out with the White Panthers. Now, if you know anything about the White Panthers, they were not the opposite of the Black Panthers. In fact, they were, Junior, correct me if I'm wrong, aligned with the Black Panthers. And really, if you're an MC5 fan, until the MC5 pulled that limo trick over in Europe, I mean, they were in with the White Panthers pretty good. Am I right, Junior? How's that for a 53-year-old? I know a lot for shit from before my time, huh? I also have a complete Foxfire book set. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Foxfire. Yeah, very informative. What kind of plants you can eat, all the knots that you could ever want to tie. Brings me back to one point in an interesting case, Mr. Steve. Westboro 3. Memphis 3. Okay, remember Damian Eccles convicted, then released. 2 different kinds of knots. What percentage do you give in a situation like that, where two specific kinds of knots are put to restrain somebody, and not just different knots, but the restraining method itself, doesn't that scream more than one person, Mr. Steve? What's your opinion on that? Yeah, we might as well have a true crime question for a change. It's just me, you, and Junior in the room, for God's sakes, you know? And then all the other people can watch it in replay and go, damn, I can't believe we missed it. And I'll be laughing the whole time. But I find it highly weird in any of those situations. It would just seem to me, like, for example, I don't know how to tie a lot of different knots. But if I had to tie someone up quick, it would just be a simple, I don't know what you call a square knot, where you just tie once, tie around, and pull tight 2 times, and it makes a knot. You know, to me, that's not really a knot. That's like a necessity. It's like how you tie your shoes, I guess, or something. So if you're using a specific knot, oh, good point. Well, right. Depends if a victim was instructed to tie up another victim. I don't know enough about the specifics of that case. I've seen enough. Like, it's very disturbing to watch. I don't know if it's considered now a cold case again because that guy got released, or those guys got released or something. Like, I just don't know. You know, pretty weird one. And you look at the area. You know, the whole thing creeps me out in terms of what I call city woods. I've detected a lot of city woods because it's some of the few places in a city, say the scruff of an apartment complex, the edges of ball fields, public parks, schools, so forth. I always bring somebody with me. I don't go do that shit alone, not just for my safety, but to let whoever else out there know, hey, I'm with other people and we're doing an activity. Because I'm big and hairy. I honestly am self-conscious about scaring someone. I guess because I'm so nervous about being in, for my own situation that I went through being in the woods myself. Zodiac Lake attack had female tie up male. The Zodiac Lake attack. Why do I feel like I've heard about this case? Is that California? That must be California. Oh, Zodiac was California, yeah. And they were both found dead, right? Or was she still barely? Right. Yeah. That's an interesting one. I never got into any of those big cases. The only ones I ever Hey, Paula Fitzhenry, good to see you. The male survived. Okay. I do know that case then, yeah. I mean, very loosely. There's always a really interesting case. If I can hopefully remember the name of the town. Maybe, I hope I'm not boring you, Mr. Steve. Probably everyone tries to do this where they want to talk to you about some of their favorite cases, but I mean, it comes along, I guess. So I apologize, but I'm just curious if you ever heard of it. I mean, it was didn't make a lot of rounds. It was from the 80s, I believe. One of these small town stores, I believe it was Reed City, Michigan, like an IGA, 5 and dimes, something like that. We're talking 80s, so no 5s, probably mostly dimes. I just called it the dime store at the end before it went over to the Walgreens or whatever, Anyways, young lady, but not so young, not teenager young. I do believe she had like maybe a young kid, something like that, but in her early 20s, right? Worked at this store. Oh, really? His description led to the Zodiac hood composite. Okay. I think also when you're talking about Son of Sam, 1 or 2 of those victims survived, also helping to end up providing some sort of description in way of a composite also. Correct me if I'm wrong. For David Berkowitz, Son of Sam. That's a weird one. Don't even get me started. That's one that's famous that I fell down the rabbit hole on because HBO or one of these Netflix or one of them did a series on the Zodiac, not Zodiac, doggone it, Son of Sam killer. But they turned it into a whole like cult of people because I guess there's just way too much weird stuff going on. Like his best friend's dad and the dog's name was Sam, and supposedly the best friend's dad was sexually abusive, blah, 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 blah. And this whole deal. A bunch of sadistic, like terrible, crazy, crappy shit, you know. But that also it carried all the way out to an army base in Minot, North or South Dakota or whatever that's at. And that when this guy who's in the military was going to tell about the whole thing, the girlfriend ended up shooting him in the head with a shotgun. Really weird. But anyways, the story I was talking about at the IGA, a lot less known. This is more of a Michigan top 20 never solved cases probably. So no telling. But she was found. Someone somehow got in there. And keep in mind, there's like these are old buildings, old city. There's an upstairs and a downstairs. She worked downstairs in the pet department. Remember when some of these stores would divide up upstairs, downstairs in your older place? And it would almost feel as if you were actually walking down the stairs at your grandparents' house or something. You know, the stairs creaked. It'd be a smaller space with, if it was clothing, it could be clothing or just the overstock. When small stores had overstock, sometimes they would open up their basement or their attic or a shed on the side of the damn building to sell extra things at a specially reduced price or make it a special thing, you know. And so this was the pet section and the sale items down in the basement. Main store was up top where people bought, you know, most of the new apparel or whatever this store sold. I can't remember. And anyways, so for hours she wasn't seen. And they end up going down there to finally check on her at this public open store. And they find her brutally murdered in this hallway that goes to another building or something like to another basement. Because sometimes in the old buildings, basements connect. It's still a cold case. That's the only reason I talk about it. Because, you know, they've never found the murderer. And I can't think of her name, but if I can, I will find it actually, and I'll post it on my community post page. But that wasn't even what we were talking about today. God, he's so good. You know, you should be a cop. You are so good at this. Thad wants to say hi, you guys. I'm sorry, I gotta let Thad say hi for a second. There he is. There's his big fat head. Hi, say hi. Well, don't get shy now, baby. Hopefully that doesn't break up my signal, but we did a week's worth of enzyme treatment for his ears. It didn't really seem to help overall all that much, but and it seems the cold exacerbates his ears a bit. Yes, that is it, Mr. Steve. I do believe it is the Jeanette Robertson cold case. Had you heard of it, or did you just quickly sleuth that up on the Google machine? Well, anyways, it was one of the earliest. It was definitely a pre-recorded series by somebody that made a whole series about Michigan crimes. And they had 2 or 3 parts on this particular Jeanette Robertson case. And it wasn't like a live situation. Hey, Jerry, good to see you. It was, like I said, a pre-record, but each one being like an hour or more in length. It was quite extensive. And I just found it completely, the way they recorded it and everything. It was, you know, Skip Jansen gets a lot of credit for that. Like when you look at the production level, something like Under the Bridge, where it just has like the name, everything about it, you know, is pretty intense and almost provides atmosphere, if you will. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It just happens during the creative process sometimes. Okay, baby. All right. I think you itched it out. You're good. You know, sometimes, and you don't want to be disrespectful, you know, of course, by being overly dramatic or making light of anything. Back when oh shit, Mr. Steve, you crack me up. It was referred back to me when I was popular. Oh man. Come on. You will always be popular. That's for sure. I mean, you have a rich catalog of, you know, and like I tell people, you know, I mean, to me, your show was never about just a one-off live. I mean, that's what they were because you like to do live broadcasting for when you did it. And if you go back, whatever you do. What I'm saying is you always had, not always, but look, there were a lot of lessons taught. You had tips, really good tips for web sleuths. And those things remain in perpetuity. So I call it a catalog, Mr. Steve, and I appreciate the years you did that. And not just that, because you're not just not doing anything still. I mean, you have a right to retire. Jesus Christ. I mean, you give yourself a break, man. I mean, you're running all around the country like one of these Chippendale dancers. I mean, it's like it's 30, 40,000 miles a year. You're solving cases. You're underneath porches, digging up, evidence. I mean, you have got to take a rest somewhere. And you're putting the rest of us to shame already. You don't need to do a show anymore. You just need to show up out here once in a while in the chat and say hi. That's what I like. You had your day in the sun, Steve. Oh no, he's in the sun right now. He's having Junior. We're having our day in the cold, inclement weather. Mr. Steve is he's in his Bermuda trunks, probably having a non-alcoholic daiquiri somewhere on a big beach in Florida, probably close to Mar-a-Lago or something. Who knows? I'm just kidding, Mr. Steve. So yeah. Got to pick priorities. Of course, no. I mean, you're retired from being a police officer. I mean, you've been that for a while. Of course, you continue to have tons of things to do. You're Mr. Steve. I mean, you work. You do all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You're the guy. And what am I telling you for? And something tells me you're not the kind that is going to just be sitting at home. Waiting for Mrs. Steve to make brownies. Although you wouldn't complain about that, probably. I bet she makes wonderful brownies. Hey, you're okay, buddy. You don't remember the walk that you just went on before I went live, where everything was okay then afterwards. And then you ate a little. Huh? And you had some good, delicious, purified water. You don't remember all that? And I petted you for like 15 minutes and told you how much I loved you. So I could have this moment here. Please don't be selfish right now. Thank you. These dogs these days, no respect. Oh, hey, look, a new person. Hey, beautiful sunflower. How you doing? Aunt Joe Dirt's here. Nice. Have you heard of Sebastian Rogers' case? 16-year-old missing from 100. Oh, yeah. Yes, I've heard of that case. Because, well, I liked it. I still like a couple of the broadcasters that I initially started listening to on YouTube. Yet you're hot because the heater's blowing right on you, baby. What don't you get about that? Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, it seems to be quite anomalous. Now I can never tell if Chris is saying UFOs took him or if someone murdered him or there's some kind of crime syndicate. And then Sonny Justice. It's hard to tell. So I just I'm not beautiful sunflower. This is going to be a shock. As much as web sleuthing to me sort of started out my listening, Delphi, of course, I'm talking about, on YouTube, and started my interaction, in fact, with real living people in chat rooms. I had never chatted with anyone in a chat room. I don't mean Facebook. I mean, something like a broadcast, like what we're doing here with a complete stranger before. And, so when I went on to Sleuth Intuition and Sunny's show, you have to remember, I always give Sleuth the credit for having me on first, but it was indeed Sonny Justice that had me on for my first broadcast. Because she kept asking me if I was related to who? Flint friggin' Farmer. And Adam was like, you're just going to need to call in, Derek, and set her straight. Because every time I said something in chat, she'd go, Derek Farmer, Derek Farmer, Derek Farmer. Any relation to Flint Farmer? 20 times I told her no. And she got mad at me once because she was talking about some girl that passed away eating in a blueberry pie eating contest in Canada. And I said, on the whole, it's tragic, but it's not the same as someone being, murdered, unless you consider blueberries the perpetrator. And she didn't like me making light of that because someone still had died. Someone's, everyone's child is someone's child. And I understand that. And I felt bad. And she forgave me for that one, though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sonny, to let all of our cats out of the bag. What about Summer Wells? I think, again, I'm not a trendy case follower. I'll tell you what really drives me on a case, Beautiful Sunflower, isn't, it's the, and I hope this doesn't sound crass. I don't want it to sound crass. I'm just trying to be very honest. Hang on, I gotta pet him or else he freaks out. Jari, someone called her Cloudy Injustice, and I didn't get the reference until way later. It made me laugh. Yeah. I don't really watch it that much. No, me neither. I like the, I felt like for a while her, Aspen, and Deb, had kind of like, I love their little intro. It was saucy. Hi, I'm Deb. And then she put on like lipstick, I liked it. I thought it was the lighter side of web sleuthing while still being respectful to the victims and the victims' families. And also trying to go over information and really digging in now. I mean, during that Delphi coverage, I contend that Sunny show, now I don't know what it's like now. It may be just as exciting. I just don't have time to be listening to 100 shows. But I found it great. So we had Sunny, we had Marvin Frank. This is my circle, how I started. Sleuth Intuition at the helm. Kristen behind the crime door. Pretty much my whole circle. And then Mr. Steve was on Marvin Frank, you see, as a expert sort of guest from time to time, but became more regular. And then he became what is known as a spinoff. If anyone has ever seen, shit. Oh, if I just could have nailed that reference, Mr. Steve, it would have flowed wonderfully. It was started with Mary Tyler Moore and ended with Lou Grant. But, went on to be even more, Mr. Steve, of course, a legend in the field, in my opinion. And so that's been my sort of thing, Beautiful Sunflower, not to just go from case to case. Like, it's just not my, it's not the way I like to do. Oh, I was going to say though, there are certain things about certain cases that do keep me coming back. Now, Delphi, everyone knows there's just something a little extra to that case. Not that anyone is saying those victims are more important than any other. Dude, you're kind of getting on my nerves now, for real. Than any other of victims. Look, that's not the point when I'm talking about this. And that should be a highlight that some of the cases that don't have whatever that is need to be brought out into the light and talked about more. For sure, because every single human, doesn't matter your color, your religion, your national origin. What matters is that you're from this planet and human. Now, I only say that because as we go into what today's show topic is going to be about, we do have to consider the fact that there are some possible entities and non-humans mixing around us. According to the briefing that one newly elected President Ronald Reagan received on, on or around March of 1981 at Camp David by his newly appointed Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger and the CIA Director William or Bill Casey. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about Project Aquarius. Project Aquarius, of course, was brought out in the MJ12 documents, but highlights a briefing that was prepared for President Reagan at Camp David in that early spring or late winter, whatever March is, shortly after taking office, which is when in was it April 20th or something when a new president takes off? No, January. January 20th or 22nd, whatever it is. Late January they take office. So January, February, March. So within 2 months, just under 2 months, a special meeting was set up while he was to be at Camp David for other briefings. Of course, Camp David, a private compound that Ike Eisenhower set up within the big military base on the East Coast. Look, I don't really know the details. It's supposed to be incredibly lavish. So I don't know if I love it because we're all paying for it. But nonetheless, it is now presidential history. Now let's go over what that document was. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right. And I'll blow my screen up a little bit. Hang on a second here. I think I shared the wrong thing, so give me a second. Let me just reshare that here. All right, buddy. It's okay. You're all right. It's okay, baby. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. You know I have to have a hiccup here. Now, I'm going to blow this up a little bit, okay? Now, this, oh, by the way, this is a retyped copy of an original obtained by L.M. Graham. L.M. Graham is the person that originally FOIA'd this document. Of course, they claim it's not a real document, but yet it somehow was FOIAble and within the other documents that he requested. Okay. You guys may have to blow up your own screens a bit. Top secret executive correspondence. Oh, shit. Here we go already, guys. I better take a drink of this beer. Hang on. Let me start over, please. Top secret executive correspondence, executive briefing. Subject, Project Aquarius. See, it's got its own little symbol there. Kind of looks like a butt plug, no offense. How do I know that? Well, I'll tell you. One of my best friends worked at the Dirty Bookstore in Kalamazoo, and I would go down there and smoke cigarettes at the counter and hang out and laugh at everybody who came in there. Oh, we had great fun at that place, man. Anyways, that's a whole different show. This is serious business, guys. Document was prepared. Let me see if I can I get rid of this sidebar? What the fuck? All right, dude, why are you having like an attack right now? Are the Russians in on this shit? This document was prepared by MJ12. MJ12, Majestic 12, is, of course, the agency that was secretly appointed by one Harry S. Truman. We can go over those 12 sometime. Top secret. Contains 16 volumes of... Okay, what is Project Aquarius? Dude, stop. Come on now. You want a treat? You want some shit? I mean, I hate to bribe you, boy. I do. I really do, but you got to take your mind off this head thing, man. They drive me up a goddamn wall. No, I love you, too. Here, have a cracker, Polly. All right. Contains 16 volumes of documented information collected from the beginning of the United States investigation of unidentified flying objects and identified alien crafts. IAC, a new acronym. Identified alien crafts. The project was originally established in 1953 by order of President Eisenhower under control of Redacted and MJ12. In 1960, the project's name was changed from Project Redacted to Project Aquarius. The project was funded by Redacted. Confidential funds, non-appropriated. That's what we would refer to as a SAP, a special access deep state program that isn't funded by, well, it's funded by us, but the money's not cleared by Congress. They steal it from other things, basically. Like in the 80s, they talked about $5,000 ashtrays. That's bullshit. The military doesn't pay any extra for anything. That meant that they were taking 1 penny and buying an ashtray, and the other $4,999.99 was going to special projects like this, guys. The project was funded by Redacted. The project Redacted for one full line, Redacted December 1969 after Project Blue Book was closed. The purpose of Project Aquarius was to collect all scientific, technological, medical, and intelligence information from UFO, unidentified flying objects, and IAC, identified alien craft. Guys, why do we need that acronym in official government documents unless we know that we've been in contact with them? Sightings and contacts with alien life forms. This orderly file of collected information has been used to advance the United States' space program. Let me flash back here for a second. Now, can you imagine a newly elected Ronald Reagan sitting there waiting for this briefing from his defense secretary, Caspar Weinberger, and the CIA director, William Casey, and they start laying this shit on him? Okay. His eyes must have bugged out of his head. Now, he had 3 independent UFO sightings up until that point. But it was after this briefing that he began saying things later in his administration like, well, what if we were attacked by a universal force from outside of our own planet? Mr. Gorbachev, would you help us? And Gorbachev said, yes, we're there for you. Yeah, just spill the whole shit and shaboodle everywhere. And he said, we would be there for you also. Nancy, pack up the wagon. Papa's coming home. Jerry's saying, I'm not saying it's aliens, but, well, y'all know it's effing aliens. My birth year, 1953. Oh, baby, I'm sorry that you're suffering so much tonight. What's your deal, huh? You was doing a little better, baby. Well, let's get back to it. So Reagan's sitting there. You know, hang on a second. No, let me make it appropriate. Reagan's sitting there, yeah. Oh shit. That was a little dramatic. Yeah, eating some jelly beans. Oh, these are delicious, Nancy. Holy shit. There's 5 kinds of aliens on the planet, because that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Here we go. The preceding briefing is a historical account of the United States government. Sorry, I'm eating now while I'm talking. That's totally bad manners, you guys. Sorry about that. Do you want a jelly bean, dude? Here, eat your red ones. They have extra dye. Extra red dye. You don't even want the red one. Don't fuck you then. What are you, more of an nice fan? Sorry. That thing took forever to actually get down my throat. I forgot I barely got teeth anymore. I should stick a couple of these jelly beans up there and use those. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. So, Project Sigma, Pro Word, Redacted, originally established as part of Project Redacted in 1954. I got to shrink this a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind. Ooh. Became a separate project in 1976. Its mission was to establish communication with aliens. Okay. I mean, they just came right out and said it. I mean, has disclosure already happened? This project met with positive success when in 1959, the United States established primitive communications with the aliens. On April 25th, 64, a United States Air Force intelligence officers met 2 aliens at a prearranged location in the desert of New Mexico. The contact lasted for approximately 3 hours. Redacted. The Air Force officer managed to exchange basic information with the 2 aliens. Attachment 7. So there's attachments to this we're not going to be allowed to see. This project is continuing at an Air Force base in New Mexico. Number 3, Project Snowbird. Originally established in 1972, its mission was to test fly a recovered alien aircraft, Mr. President Reagan. This project is continuing in Nevada. Redacted. Number 4, Project Redacted. Originally established in 1968. Its mission was to evaluate all UFO information. All UFO redacted information pertaining to space UFOs. Sorry. I thought I was looking in the mirror. Information pertaining to space technology. Project Pounce continues. Redacted. The above is a declassified version of a once marked top secret page from United States Air Force projects document. Probability of authenticity equals 90%. Good enough for me. 6 June 1984, freedom. Oh, wait. Mom, wait a minute. I want to make sure I get to the good stuff here. Let me pop back here for a second. I'm going to light an L&M. They were out of my brand. Figured I might as well live in the 50s. L&M, tonight's sponsor, kids. Just kidding. I'm set to 18 and over. And you know what? If you're old enough to sign that draft card, in my opinion, you're old enough to smoke a cigarette. But I encourage you not to. Or to vape, for that matter. That's way too easy. You want to smoke bubble gum? Just go get some damn bubble gum. A Junior saying hi, Paula. And Paula saying, nice seeing everyone. Beautiful Sunflower saying, interesting. Dude. I got to put a little medicine on his ear, man, you guys. Hang on. I already know he's digging the shit out of it, and there's going to be blood. He's going nutty, buddy. The whole place is shaking. Do you guys see the table shaking? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. No. Hang on. No, hang on. Get down there, then. No, don't be a shitbag. Okay, wrong ear. All right, I see what you're doing. You tricked me. Get up. Gosh, dang it. Baby. You got to chill it, baby. Okay. Let me put the medicine on the ear, baby. There you go. That's a boy. Come on, baby. It's all right. Sorry, you guys. Oh, thank you. A beautiful sunflower. I appreciate that. For liking and subscribing. You have to find humor in some of this stuff. Yeah, we change topics pretty quick around here. But Cryptex is here. Hey, my buddy Cryptex. All right, how you doing, Crypt? I think I saw you went live earlier. I was running all around doing stuff. Our dogs are getting old, says Joe Dirt. Mine's deaf, blind, and stupid, but I still like him. You probably love him, I hope, Joe. I mean, yeah, no, I love this guy. I mean, he's not even my dog. As Fair Maiden Lids would tell you, I don't even like him. But I love him. I just wish he would stop, suffering so much. Like, I'm trying to... Like, Abby got me this whole enzyme treatment. I did that religiously until it was done. Seemed like it was getting a little better, but you can't do that forever. So it's like a 7-day treatment. Jerry wanted to know, how you doing, Crip? How's your weather? You guys getting snow? We are going to have up to like 18 or 20 or something inches by Sunday morning. Inches, I mean, you know what I mean, right? Whatever that translates into, like 4,000 centimeters or something like that. I love fucking with Cryptex. That's a good dude. And whoever hasn't subscribed, and whoever wants to put up, any of anyone's sites in the thingamabobber can do that with the old copy and paste bullshit if you want. I love it. Let's get back to the document read. As soon as I find the right document. Oh my goodness. See, well, I had it marked off properly earlier, but then my computer, of course, was running terribly, so I had to restart. Any other time, it would ask me when I restarted, do you want to open these pages, that were closed? No, not this time. So I had to re-look everything up really quick and do all that. Blah, blah, blah. But I just need to find what I wanted to read to you guys, really. Okay, maybe I found it. Here we go. Now we're getting there. Memorandum for General Twining. Okay, the president has decided. Now, this will be flashing back to President Eisenhower. The president has decided that the MJ-12 SSP briefing should take place during the already scheduled White House meeting of July 16th. So, guys, they're talking about alien talk. And that's what MJ-12 is. Rather than following it as previously intended, more precise arrangements will be explained to you upon arrival. Please alter your plans accordingly. And that's from Special Assistant Robert Cutler. Oh, no, that was maybe for President Reagan. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting here. All right. Hey, dude. Fucking killing me, man. You're fucking killing me. Like, I love you and shit, but god damn, I'm about to put you outside or some shit. Sorry, guys, throwing my game off bad, man. These are the members of MJ-12. Admiral Roscoe Hillenkotter. Dr. Vannevar Bush, supposedly no relation to the big Bush family. Secretary of Defense, the first one, James B. Forrestal, murdered, thrown out of the 13th or 14th story of okay, dude, if it's hot, go the fuck in there. Go lay down in here. Go. Get up there. It's like 20 degrees hotter in there. Get up there. Lay down. Right now. You're clearly overheating, bro. You're clearly overheating. I need you to be cooler. So be in here. Don't be in there where it's warm. Sorry, you guys. It's hard to regulate the heat. Like, I do have the heat cranking in my little room here. And, oh, God. It seems like either heat or cold or just whatever exacerbates shit at different times. Anywho, here we go. Detlev Bronk, Jerome Hunsaker. Many of these names have military ships named after them. They murdered Forrestal, though. That's a whole different thing. If the Hiawatha was here, she would know. All right, here we go. Now, this next page is where we're going. Central Intelligence Agency, June 24th, redacted. Redacted / MJ-12. What the hell could be more secret than MJ-12? We wouldn't know because it's blacked out. Go lay down. Go. Get. No, go. Get. You're punishing me and you. Yesterday, R2 requested briefing on Project A. In particular, he wanted updated info from Redacted. MJ3 advised that the info is not available to P2. Apparently, White House requested info because of Redacted. Can't seem to make those fools realize redacted info is not available for any dissemination per Executive Order 01156, regardless of who requests it. Top secret executive correspondence, executive briefing, subject, Project Aquarius, TS. That means top secret. This document was prepared by MJ-12. MJ-12 is solely responsible for its subject matter. Declassify on exempt. Project Aquarius contains 16 volumes. Information collected. I think we went over this part. Okay, that's good. Oh, we did this. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, sorry, guys. Shit, only 3 people left. I guess I bored somebody. Love to all the mods. What's up, Jerry? Okay, so in essence, though, let me then bounce over to this other document really quick. Just wikis up. Oh, hi, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Good, I hope. Sorry you have to hear me get a little annoyed. It's not the dog's fault. I'm not mad at the dog. Just so you know. He just has really itchy ears. That's something that he's had since I've known him. Something that I'm like responsible for. I'm trying to do a little something about it. But God dang it. I just can't concentrate, like, you know, when I have to, I don't know, it's hard to concentrate. This motherfucker's flapping his head in the background, you know. Love him and shit, though. Here we go. Reagan briefing on documents. Okay. Okay, let me just quickly go over this. I will blow it up. Come on. God damn it. There we go. Let me see how that looks. Jesus, I don't know. I don't even know if you guys can see that. So I'm going to read it quickly. There's no verifiable official Reagan briefing document on aliens from the government, but several unofficial and unauthenticated documents and claims exist within the UFO communities, often referred to a 1981 briefing where Reagan was allegedly told about 5 types of alien species, their technology, and their interactions with humanity. And yes, that's essentially what the briefing was about. Claimed 1981 briefing. Proponents of the alleged briefing say that on March 6, 1981, a CIA briefing was held to inform President Reagan about UFOs and extraterrestrial visitation. Alleged content. The briefing is said to have included on 5 different alien species, their technological capabilities, and their intentions toward humans. Heathens and taloids. I believe that should say trantaloids. And I have never heard the heathens reference, so I'm not sure what that's referring to. But I do know that, well, they're calling the heathens as the species involved in the Roswell crash, and what I'm going to just correct as the trantaloids as a menacing group of insect-like beings. These are the ones with the tridactyl features that are 6, 7, 8 feet tall, and that apparently... basically, the other 4 are created by the species that we're aligned with, either through alliances or through a cloning even. The claims originate from an anonymous source who claims to be part of a group of former Defense Intelligence Agency personnel, according to this Amazon page. I didn't go there. Authenticity. The authenticity of these documents is not proven and is subject of debate, especially since they come from unofficial sources. Yeah, because when do they officially release information like that? So that's essentially it, you guys. He was briefed in 81 at Camp David on 5 different species of aliens that have been interacting on our planet. The Canadians know about it too. I mean, look up Paul Hellyer, the ex-defense secretary of Canada. He was one of the first whistleblowers, although you can't really be a whistleblower, I guess, unless you're... I guess he really was a whistleblower, because I don't think he waited for Dopser to clear his statements. He just did it. But he knew all about it, yeah. Jari, frigid wind here. So that's basically what I wanted to read. You know, as this starts to come out more and more, and these documents have been around for a long time, but I think people are going to start paying attention to the specifics of documents like this when other announcements begin to be made. Go lay down. Go lay down. You're just going to have to dig it on this one, dude. I'll take you out for a walk in a minute. Stick your fucking head in a snowbank. Twining was who Philip Corso talked about at the Pentagon. Oh yeah, Twining has his hands all over the UFO subject matter from the 40s on. Again, and I intend on proving it at some point with old-fashioned colored string and a tack board, that these things go back to the 1897 giant airship mystery. That's where the control group began. Patent attorney George Collins, I think, was associated with OSS, which was formed in 1882. And they went on to screw him, too. They arrested him for bigamy. And although he wasn't convicted of that during the process, they charged him with perjury, and he served 9 years in prison. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Dirt. No, I mean, no, I love the dog and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just like if I wasn't broadcasting, I'd be a lot more attentive to what he needs. It's just hard to do both. Like, I mean, believe it or not, I was joking last time I broadcasted, I rewatched that. That was one of the funniest parts of the show. When I said I have to elevate myself to a higher level like this, so I can't keep a straight face when I do that. But to some degree, I have to be able to friggin' concentrate. Or I mean, people already know that I lose my train of thought. So when he's here, like totally digging himself, I feel bad, A, for him, and 2, I know he's doing damage to his own ears. I don't like it. Southern Gale's going live tonight. Thank you, Paul Fitzhenry, for the update on that. We like that, girl. Well, you can even, Paula, I mean, you're a mod, Paula. Feel free to throw up Southern Gale's site in our chat so people can join it. Right? I hate the constant stare I get. Who's staring at you? Who's staring at you, Joe Dirt? Who's staring at you? Yeah, well, I mean, my only solace is that I always end up with dogs. I mean, I never go out looking for. I'm not an animal person, honestly. I mean, I do love the ones that I have when I have them, but I mean, I didn't ask for. The only animal I've ever asked for is the one that I adopted several years back, who lived with us, me and my cousin, for 17 years. I mean, tell him, it was over for him. Like, I'm really loyal to the things I get and stuff, but I'm just certainly not going to not love something or not take care of it to the best of my ability. But sometimes my ability isn't good enough and I need help, And it's like, this fucking owner is no offense. Hopefully she doesn't watch the show, but I'm saying it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It is. It really is. I could use a goddamn night off, I mean, I would work a lot more. I would go a lot more places, but now I'm tied to a home. I had 2 dogs that weren't mine already that I had to rehome when I moved out here. So if I sound a little irritated, it's only in that it ties up a lot of time. He doesn't do what. Last time I took him for a car ride last week, he made the biggest pile of poop in the back of my Camry. Man, it was big. Mount Helen-sized pile of shit. Apparently, the ride loosens his sphincter. It relaxes him. Oh, that's great. That's great. My classic 33-year-old Camry didn't appreciate it. But I didn't get mad at him. He's never went potty in my place one time. He's never tore anything up. He's a wonderful dog. I just need to get his ears cleared up, and we will be fine. The enzyme thing didn't work. Abby said she had a couple other ideas. We'll go with it, So, yeah. Oh, that's what I have tonight, though, guys. I mean, yeah, well, I didn't have a lot. I was happy to see, I don't know if he's still here. Mr. Steve popped into the room. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have Mr. Steve here. Well, time's to put the chips and salsa up. Yeah, you've been munching. Everybody's probably munching today. I got some dinner finally myself. And I got to admit, yesterday was the first Thanksgiving I didn't eat anything. It just didn't work out. Someone was supposed to bring me dinner, and they, the weather got bad or whatever. So, but with all that being said, I do think that we're in for some interesting times coming up. We're getting closer and closer to disclosure, in my opinion. I think the film, The Age of Disclosure, I was going to play the trailer to that, but I didn't line it up. Highlighting 34 high government officials, so forth, that you got Marco Rubio saying we have been in contact with other things. He's the Secretary of State. I mean, how official do we need this disclosure to be? Right? But I contend it's not true formal disclosure until the President of the United States gets behind a podium and says, listen up, we're not alone. We've been in contact with something. We've been communicating with something. We cannot give you all the details. Some of that stuff is security related, but we're not alone in this universe. There's nothing about saying that that's going to make this planet explode. So I encourage that announcement from President Trump. I think if any president has a chance to do it, I think President Trump has the biggest chance, honestly. He seemed to have put a lot of people in his cabinet and around him. J.D. Vance admitting that he's fascinated by the UFO subject matter. Marco Rubio completely on top of it as he helped legislate part of the UAP Act or whatever in Congress when he was still a senator. And what do both of those guys want to be in the next term? They want to be president. But guess who's president now? You really think Trump's going to let Rubio or Vance one up him and announce the biggest announcement in the history of the human race before he does? No way. I predict Trump announces it before he leaves office, but I predict sooner rather than later. I could have swore it would have happened yesterday. With all of that being said, you guys, I got to take care of this dog. He's got issues. I'm going to take him out and go potty, see if I can't walk the itchy ears off him. It's a gorgeously cold, windy night. Going to have a blizzard. I will provide updates during that. I'll be working all day, all night tomorrow during this so-called blizzard. So you can expect probably a couple shorts for me to put up when the weather gets pretty bad. Yeah, buddy, I'm coming. I know. We're going to go out and go potty. I got you. With all of that being said, you guys, I didn't really want to cut it so short, but it's just necessary tonight. So, but thank you for being here at all. I'm always appreciate it. Always enjoy spending time with everybody. Let's again just refresh. Thank you to Mr. Steve for showing up. Junior, really great to see you. Haven't seen you in a couple shows, I don't think. Paula, always good to see you. Seems to be a real beautiful sunflower. Yeah, thank you for popping in as I haven't seen you in the chat. Joe Dirt, really great to see you back again. Jari, always great. Cryptex, thanks for popping in. Always good to talk to all of you guys. And we'll talk to you soon, like tomorrow. So have a great night. Who knows? You know me. If I can't go to sleep, I'll be back on in an hour anyways. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. With that being said, keep your eyes on the skies. Good night, everybody. All right.